Attention! This video is in English. If you want to watch the Romanian version, you can find it on my channel or click on the link in the description below. Atenție! Acest videoclip este în engleză. Dacă vrei să vizionezi varianta în română, o poți găsi pe canalul meu sau accesând linkul din descriere. Previously on this series. And now. Well, in my opinion, nothing screams more like nostalgia, nothing brings more memories from a gamer's perspective than this introduction video from GTA San Andreas and its iconic theme song, which still remains one of the most easily recognizable music piece among the whole gaming industry. The game I will detail in this review is the well-known, beloved GTA San Andreas, and which still remains for a lot of the GTA fanbase the best iteration from this series, including for me. And by the way, you can also click on the highlighted video to see and hear a personal guitar cover of the well-known theme song from GTA San Andreas, an arrangement thought, played and recorded by me. In this video you will discover neat things about GTA San Andreas and why it is the game that has made RockstarGames one of the most respected and highly regarded gaming developing company in the world. This is the last part from the original GTA 3D era series, so I deeply suggest you to watch the previous two parts, the GTA 3 and GTA Vice City reviews, if you have not yet, as you will learn ideas regarding the evolution of this franchise and many more information. And if you enjoy this type of content, watch other videos from this channel, subscribe, like this video, share it and turn on the notification bell. This is Dave from Golden Age Gaming Productions and you're watching the Golden Age Gaming review of GTA San Andreas. Enjoy! If GTA 3 represented the beginnings of the 3D Grand Theft Auto universe and GTA Vice City the evolution of a previously successful formula, the next main installment in the series, namely GTA San Andreas, was, in my opinion, which is shared with a lot of other people, a true revolution in this open world action genre. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is the third main installment in the original 3D era games and the fifth one throughout the whole series. As I was previously saying, it is the game that earned RockstarGames the trust of the gamers and that proved that in about 2 years of developing, and not more than 10, if you know what I mean, they have managed to create a polished, more advanced and again in my opinion the best GTA in the entire franchise. Not to say that GTA San Andreas doesn't have its caveats, but considering the complexity of the game, its scale, and with all this still delivering one of the most impressive storylines in the GTA series, the pros overwhelmingly exceed the cons that you can find in this game, as they are far in between and not important at all, at least in the original version, Rockstar, not the definitive edition of course. And by the way, stay until the end of this review to see a rant about these defective versions of the beloved original 3D era GTA games. If Vice City supposedly had a budget of around $5 million for its development, GTA San Andreas had about double, around $10 million. However, considering all the advancements made after Vice City, and all in a relative short time, I think that is not a lot at all. Due to its quality, San Andreas was the best sold game from 2004, even though it was only initially released on PS2. GTA San Andreas keeps the same successful gameplay formula as the previous games in the franchise, telling the story this time of a gangster's family, but the goals have remained very similar, having to complete objectives in order to become the head of the family and build an illicit business empire. However, the range of these missions and activities has increased significantly, now including even some RPG elements, all of the above being detailed in the gameplay chapter of this review. As always, you complete main or secondary missions, meet new characters, form new alliances, experience various plot twists throughout the story of the game, or just have a good time by admiring the scenery, and believe me, you will really have what to look at, or once again get involved in police chases, which are more fun than ever, and have a good time exploring the huge areas brought by the game, of course in comparison to the ones found in the previous games. And there's a lot to explore and uncover, believe me. GTA San Andreas, as well as the previous two games already reviewed, had Leslie Benzies as its producer, in collaboration with important developers and talented people, including the Hauser brothers, respectively Dan Hauser and Sam Hauser, the latter one also being the president of RockstarGames. For the timeline events, GTA San Andreas takes place in the early 90s, making it from this point of view some sort of a sequel for GTA Vice City. But for a complete overview of the GTA franchise timeline, the following schematic can be observed, and thus the GTA franchise starts chronologically with the events of the first GTA game expansions, namely GTA London 1961 and London 1969, continuing with GTA Vice City stories, then with GTA Vice City. Afterwards comes GTA San Andreas, then the Grand Theft Auto, the first Grand Theft Auto game, followed by GTA Liberty City Stories. Afterwards comes GTA 2, the game that didn't know itself in which year it takes place, supposedly sometime between 1999 and 2013, in the not so popular Anywhere City. Afterwards, a more obscure GTA Advance title released for the Game Boy Advanced handheld. And lastly coming GTA 3. For a complete overview, the last games in the franchise, from a chronological point of view, were GTA 4, then GTA Chinatown Wars, and the game that will possibly be released and re-released and re-released for the foreseeable future on the upcoming platforms, the famous but also infamous for good reasons nowadays, the never-ending saga of Grand Theft Auto 5. San Andreas was initially released on PlayStation 2 in the fall of 2004 and later also came out on PC and Xbox. Nowadays, like with the previous games in this series, you can play it on pretty much every device from smartphones to gaming consoles or even handheld devices. For this review I have used the original PC version of the game, including a few mods that helped with the stability of the game and which also brought some graphical fixes for newer hardware and software. When it comes to the graphics of GTA San Andreas, like it was stated in the previous reviews, the entire GTA 3D era main games were based on the renderware engine. Even so, San Andreas has incorporated what it seems at the first glance a heavily modified version of this renderware engine, remembering again that it was also known as the DirectX of Sony, as the evolution in terms of animations, textures or visual effects can be clearly noticed in comparison to the previous two main GTA titles. And again, it seems like this engine is a different one with every game in the series, due to the craftsmanship and skill coming from Rockstar's developers. The color scheme differences once again have an important role in making us think of different games through different atmospheres. Thus, GTA 3 has a greyish industrial city look, Vice City has the vivid holiday location look, while GTA San Andreas had initially on the PS2 version an orangish look, at the same time combining a bit of everything stated above, the colors being different in all the cities from GTA San Andreas, and thus different areas come with changed characteristics. And now, talking about the audio from GTA San Andreas, as it was previously described in this review series, the GTA games were never known to include fantastic audio effects, but San Andreas definitely represents an improvement over the previous titles in this franchise, having better sound effects, voice dialogues, and a renowned soundtrack. As a whole, the audio design overall is better in every department in my opinion. Now we also have more radio stations, 11 of them more specifically, which like in Vice City include a lot of well-known songs from various time eras and from artists such as Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Depeche Mode or Living Colour with its legendary Cult of Personality song, among many others. And not to forget about the theme song of GTA San Andreas, because this song brings back so many memories that even I had to do a guitar cover for it with interesting effects, which again can be accessed by clicking on the link in the description below or by finding it on my channel. With the time, some of the songs were removed, so again, in order to have the complete experience, you must either use an original version of GTA San Andreas, an unpatched version, or to include the songs by yourself if you own them. And once again, you can listen to some very interesting commercials when listening to these radio stations, like it can be heard now.
Need a home loan fast? At the American Bank of Los Santos, we'll help you get the debt you need to make life easier. We'll show you how to look richer and be poorer. Your home is your equity. What exactly are you saving it for? You need to impress people fast, not in 20 years. It's only a risk if you get into money troubles or the economy changes, which doesn't seem likely. We know living in the suburbs is a constant competition, where you're defined by your lawn and your siding. Call American Bank of Los Santos when you need to add a rec room addition with a jungle swing or a jacuzzi for 8. Now that the kids have moved out and have drug problems of their own, maybe it's time to install a luxury marble wet bar so you can get drunk in private. American Bank of Los Santos. Dreams take money. Why worry about tomorrow if you look inadequate today?
But the personal MP3 player found in GTA 3 and GTA Vice City found its way in GTA San Andreas too, as the 12th radio station, where you can listen to your own music on various platforms, but it is more convenient on PC, by just placing your MP3 or WAV files in the folder created by the game. And like we did in the previous reviews from this series, let's listen to this for a final time. Okay, Rockstar, jokes aside, release GTA 6 in this millennium, please. And we have once again reached the point in the review that describes the most important part from this game, namely its gameplay. It is a characteristic that is even more prominent than in the previous GTA titles, as GTA San Andreas, in my opinion, still has the most complex and interesting mechanics in this franchise to date. And while once again borrowing the same formula as before, of controlling a character in a third-person action-adventure open world and wandering around, exploring, finding collectibles, provoking chaos around the map through various ways, while the most widespread one still remaining the police chases. We have a more defined wanted police system, consisting again in 6 stars of difficulty, and there are some new things regarding this topic, besides the traditional roadblocks and your typical chases, such as the fact that if you fly in a plane or helicopter or other stuff, there is a possibility like Hydra planes to spawn and try to take you down, and even a news helicopter makes its way into the equation. The same methods to escape the police are used, such as getting in-game cop bribes or by painting your car. But new ways to do this are also included, such as changing your clothes or your appearance, things that I will detail a bit later in this review. If they have killed or busted you, you'll once again spawn next to the closest hospital or police station without your weapons and some money. The number of vehicles you can drive once again has doubled from GTA Vice City, starting with regular normal cars, the expensive fast cars, the emergency vehicles, the gang cars, the bikes are also introduced to us. The motorcycles make a return. There is even a monster truck as well as the boats, including a hovercraft. There's a lot more helicopters, including attack ones, and planes, including military ones, such as the Hydra. But everyone that ever played GTA San Andreas know that the best flying device was, still is, and will always remain the jetpack, which after completing the mission that involves stealing it, will spawn next to your flying school hangar. And not to forget about the industrial vehicles, some of them having some interesting functions, such as the combine harvester, which you can use to do this or this. The dozer or the forklift, which can be used to lift various things. These type of vehicles are best used in various missions where they have a goal, rather than by just using them outside an objective. And of course, there's also the train in GTA San Andreas, which you can actually control and most probably, as soon as you can, and as everyone has ever done, derail it. Once again, the driving controls do not seem to have been modified from the previous versions in any way to really be able to tell. But as I was used to these controls from the previous GTA games, I found them okay and maybe even better in GTA San Andreas. The flying mechanics definitely represent an improvement. You once again have the cinematic camera besides the already usual ones, but which has suffered some modifications, having more different viewing angles coming from it now. While GTA 3 had a basic selection of weapons and GTA Vice City brought a lot more diversity regarding this aspect, in GTA San Andreas we once again can talk about advancements. Thus, you have your bare fist and the brass knuckles, returning melee weapons such as the katana, the chainsaw, or new ones such as the shovel or the pool cue, your normal pistol, the Desert Eagle, and a new silent pistol, usually used in stealth sections of the game, 3 versions of shotguns, 3 variants of machine pistols such as the Tech 9, assault rifles like the M4, a normal rifle, and a sniper rifle. And for the heavy artillery, we have the returning minigun, the flamethrower, and a new heat-seeking rocket launcher. For throwables, besides the already casual grenades and molotovs, you also have satchel charges, which act as remote explosives. Most of the weapons can be found and bought at the ammunition stores, while others, mostly the heavy ones, need to be found in specific places. Then there are some other items such as the camera, and by taking photos in-game you can then view them in a folder created by the game. There is also the fire extinguisher, used to put out fires, mostly in missions, or to suffocate the poor citizens of GTA San Andreas. And you also have the so-called gift items, like the flowers, which can be given to your in-game girlfriends.
Spoiling me with all those gifts.
In the end, I must also mention some other interesting in-game items, such as the night or thermal vision goggles, or the parachute, or the returning body armor.
Take it, hold it, love it.
And now I will discuss the side activities and new or returning mechanics found in GTA San Andreas, and there's a lot of them, trust me. The phone is once again present in the game, but it is put to better use than in GTA Vice City, mainly to give you mission details
Since you've been away, shit has changed around here. Grove Street families ain't.
and more, including threatening phone calls in case you have borrowed money from the casino and are now in debt, which leads to some collectors coming after you if you have less than negative $500. And let's just say that they get more insistent if your debt gets higher.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, just a friendly reminder that you owe me money. Don't be a stranger.
San Andreas now also incorporates an RPG-like skill mechanic which really affects your gameplay, such as the fat meter, being able to be skinny or overweight, so you must find the right balance regarding this, done by eating at restaurants with good measure. And by the way, there's quite a lot of these restaurants and fast foods in San Andreas, because if you do not do so, let's say by eating too much, this happens, and you get fat. But at the same time, if you do not eat enough, you get skinny and can even die. Then there are attributes such as stamina or muscles, which can be increased by either jogging or working out in the gyms found in the game, another new addition. You can use various gym machines such as the bike, or different types of weights, and you can also learn new moves by fighting the gym leaders, but only after your skills are high enough. Each of the 3 in-game gyms have different leaders, which in turn, when defeated, teach you different moves. You also have the lung capacity skill, which increases over time when diving or just by staying underwater. This skill allows you to keep your breath for longer underwater, and it is even a requirement for one of the main missions in the game, which I will detail later. And with this, another mechanic suffices, namely the swimming mechanic, because in GTA San Andreas, for the first time in the GTA series, you can swim and even dive to admire the wonders of the ocean, to see fish, coral reefs, or to find collectibles. And I know that this is not the right section to talk about this, but the police are still not smarter in some regards to the previously described topic, unlike CJ. You also have the respect skill, which increases after completing missions or by defending your homies, and in turn you will be able to recruit members to come and help you. This gang mechanic is actually more complex, as later in the game the map of Los Santos will be split in various gang territories, which you will be able to attack. Some of the main gangs are the Ballas, the ones marked with dark purple, the Vagos, the ones marked with yellow, and the Grove Street families, the green ones, which you are part of. You start a gang war by killing gang members in that specific area you are in, and the map will start flashing red for that territory. Winning more territories grants you more respect, but you must be careful, because if you do not get all the territories under your hood, the opposite gangs will attack them, and so you must defend them. Initially, and as a rumor, it sounds like there might have been more gang territories outside of Los Santos, but this has not been confirmed by the developers, but you can add more gang territories through various mods. You also have the sex appeal skill, which is increased based on your muscle, on your appearance, or the number of dates you've had. Talking about appearance, there's a lot of stores to buy clothes and various accessories to personalize your main character, being able to make it look human-like, let's say, or as stupid as possible. You can also now go to groom stores to get different haircuts, and this way you can live with an afro-style looking haircut even if you were bald when you have entered the barbershop. The tattoo stores are also a new thing, by the way. All this can change your appearance, but also make you lose the police if changes are made. And since I have spoken about dates, this is another new mechanic which involves meeting with specific girls throughout the game, taking them out to various places, and you must be careful where you take them because they might either like it or not based on their personality. With more dates you have with a girl, the more the relationship meter will increase for her. You can give them various items such as flowers or other stuff, and at some point you could even go well beyond that, as it was discovered in the infamous hot coffee mode, which everyone knows what it is at this point and which led to some trouble for RockstarGames. That also resulted in a pretty funny Easter egg in the next main installment from the GTA series, specifically GTA 4. Where the Statue of Liberty has the face of the American Senator Hillary Clinton at the time, holding a steamy hot coffee cup for obvious reasons, as she was one of the most vocal ones on this topic. You can date 6 different girls in the game, and be careful at accidents, let's say, as if these girls somehow unexpectedly die, they are dead for good. Each of them can give you various advantages after your relationship gets stronger. And as a fun fact, also do not date 2 girls at the same time, because if they somehow meet, you will ruin your relationship with both of them. Lastly, you also have the customizable car garage workshops, where you can take a selection of vehicles, not all of them but enough of them, and tune them up with different modifications, most of them cosmetic, but also new mechanics such as the hydraulics system or the nitros system. And by the way, when you drive at high speeds, a motion blur effect kicks in, adding to the immersion of the game. You can also upgrade your driving skills, which in turn will make the cars more easily controllable, your bike and cycling skill also, and your flying skills by flying planes and helicopters, or by getting a license at the infamous flying school, which by the way you must complete it anyway in order to progress with the story. Thus, this is a new mechanic, and you can complete driving, bike, boat and flying schools, all adding to their respective skill level. I must also mention the weapons skills, which improve the more you use a specific gun, and there are 3 levels of upgradability. The last one, the Hitman level, also granting you a nice addition to the game, namely the possibility to dual wield certain guns. Lastly, the assets make a return from GTA Vice City, but this time most of them are obtained for free by progressing with the story, and they will give you a constant income if you are patient enough. There are 10 of these assets in GTA San Andreas. Also, they act as safe houses, and unlike in the previous games in this franchise, there's a ton more of them, 37 of them more specifically, but a few of them are more memorable, such as the Johnson house on the Grove Street, the Doherty garage in San Fierro, or Mike Torino's ranch in the desert. The hidden packages come under different forms in GTA San Andreas, having now 100 gang tags, 50 horseshoes, 50 oysters, and 50 snapshots, specific for each city in the game, and which after they've been found will spawn certain weapons and items at specific safe houses in the game. The map of San Andreas is a huge one in my opinion, and includes multiple cities to create the state of San Andreas. These cities are Los Santos, a recreation of Los Angeles, San Fierro, a recreation of San Francisco, and Las Venturas, a recreation of Las Vegas. The scale of this map is much bigger than in the previous games, as it can be seen, and each section of the map is full of surprises and things to do, unlike let's say in GTA 5, where the map is much bigger than the one found in GTA San Andreas, but which has only one big city and a lot of emptiness for the rest of the areas. Also, do not play the definitive edition of GTA San Andreas without a fog mod, as it will ruin the scale sense of the map and your childhood at the same time. GTA San Andreas, in my opinion, has the best map to date in this series, and again, you cannot freely travel between these 3 cities unless you progress with the storyline. When it comes to the side activities present in the game, besides some of the ones already mentioned, GTA San Andreas represents the pinnacle, the top of the line in the GTA series, and in my opinion not even GTA 5 matches all the stuff you can do in GTA San Andreas, as even with all the updates brought in a span of years to GTA Online, you must consider that San Andreas had all of this stuff already incorporated from the get-go. Coming back to the side activities, once again the vehicle submissions are present and activated when entering certain emergency cars, including objectives that even involve trains now. The off-road challenges have been transformed in the on-air G500 motorcycle and BMX challenges. Due to the introduction of the hydraulics for specific cars, you also now have lowrider challenges and also burglar challenges, in which you must steal things in an incognito mode, another mechanic introduced in San Andreas being the stealth one, most probably borrowed from the Manhunt franchise from RockstarGames.
Get off my ridge, you Vietcong bastards!
The RC vehicles also return, but are not activated when entering certain vans as in the previous titles. Instead, they are activated mostly in specific missions, one of which is quite frustrating.
Curse you, Berkeley! Carl, move that barrel!
The stunt jumps are also present in GTA San Andreas, as well as the stadium events, which were found in GTA Vice City as the Hyman Memorial Stadium events, but instead of 3 challenges, there is 4 of them now. The ammunition shootings range challenges also make a comeback. The import-export missions are also back, as well as the races, but they are more advanced now, being called race tournaments and involving different types of vehicles like cars, bikes or even flying vehicles. You can also compete in triathlons, ironically called Beat the Cock.
You wanna beat it, homeboy?
Or descend Mount Chiliad on a mountain bike as a challenge. And by the way, I used to go up Mount Chiliad with different type of vehicles and to find different routes to get to the top, as I was finding this very relaxing and pretty much like a hiking activity. And to also do this, obviously. You can also play different sport activities such as basketball or pool, or gamble in casinos by playing various games such as blackjack, roulette, wheel of fortune or an arcade version of poker. And of course playing at the slots machine. But there is also another form of gambling, another arcade machine called the inside track betting, in which you pick one of a number of horses and hope your pick is the one that wins the race. A lot of people, including myself, used to load a save file until you will eventually win at this arcade game, being one of the easiest and fastest way to earn a ton of money. And if all the above activities weren't enough, there's also the arcade video games you can find in specific locations and play games such as Go Go Space Monkey, Let's Get Ready to Bumble, or Duality. And you can even find one of these games right in CJ's house. This is the first GTA title to feature playable arcade video games, as you can find arcade machines in GTA Vice City 2, such as the Degenatron or the Pogo Monkey, but which are not playable. You also have some specific asset missions, but which are not that fun in my opinion, such as the valet parking missions.
Time is money.
I cannot conclude this section by not mentioning that you also travel to a completely different city in San Andreas, namely to Liberty City in a mission, and more details about this can be found in the story section of this review. In the end, in my opinion, GTA San Andreas presents us the most fun experience in comparison to all of the GTA titles released by the time this review was out, and it is even more complex than GTA 5 from my perspective. GTA San Andreas is the GTA in which stories start to have a lot more impact and to be better told. A lot of plot twists happening, better rendered cutscenes, better voice acting. Everything is improved except maybe for some pacing issues here and there. The length of the story is at a much larger scale, as there are 105 main missions, including the Catalina heists and the introduction, out of which only 14 of them are optional, but still required if you want to 100% the game. In my opinion, GTA San Andreas presents the second best storyline in this franchise, of course after GTA 4, which I might also actually review sometime in the future in a modern age gaming review video, and by the way, if you would like to see such a review, please leave a comment down below. I can't necessarily say that the plot is more relatable to the world we live in than in the previous games, but it is, at least for me, more engaging, probably also because the missions are much more varied now. As usual for this series, I will only talk about the missions that have the most impact for the overall story. The game starts by showing you the main character.
And his name is John C.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I meant the now legendary Carl Johnson. But more commonly known as CJ, who comes back to Los Santos after his brother Sweet Johnson tells him about the tragic death of their mother following a shootout started by the Ballas members. Prior to this, CJ had left to Liberty City, where he stayed for 5 years, as another brother of him with the name of Ryan Johnson died before he decided to move, and the family members were blaming Carl for his death, as he supposedly participated at the crime but did not attempt to change the situation. Anyway, as soon as CJ sets foot on Los Santos, he is greeted in an unconventional way by 3 police officers, namely Jimmy Hernandez, Eddie Pulaski, and their mastermind Frank Tamponi, which are members of the so-called corrupted governmental organization with the name of Crash. Their goal was to blackmail CJ into doing favors for them, otherwise getting our main character into trouble with fake accusations such as the death of an officer, a murder committed by their hands.
You ain't never been clean, Carl.
Well, what do we got here?
This is a weapon, Officer Pulaski, that was used to gun down a police officer not 10 minutes ago. Officer Pendleberry. A fine man, I might add. You work fast, nigga.
You know I just got off the plane.
Well, that's a good thing we found you. Retrieved the murder weapon.
That ain't my gun.
Don't bullshit me, Carl.
Yeah, don't bullshit him, Carl.
What the fuck you want from me this time?
When we want you, we'll find you.
And here was born one of the most iconic phrases in the entire gaming world.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Then you get to meet some of your friends and family members, starting with Big Smoke, another friend of CJ you meet is Lance Ryder Wilson, which takes you to get a haircut, among other things.
Told you he was crazy. He jacked up. And what's this? Shit look ridiculous.
Then there's Sweet and Kendall Johnson, both Carl's siblings. You meet them at the cemetery, and this is where they blame CJ for their mother's death, saying that he ran away just like he did when his brother died.
That's another funeral you ran away from, fool. Just like Brian's.
Hey, she was my mama too.
Not for the past 5 years, she wasn't, nigga.
Since the Grove Street family lost most of the power in favor of other gangs, CJ makes a statement of regaining what was lost. And after escaping an attack coming from the Ballas members, CJ starts planning his revenge alongside his family and friends. You then can meet Kendall's boyfriend in the person of Cesar Villalpando, who is part of the group shortly known as the Varios, and you do a mission involving the hydraulics car mechanic, which can be pretty annoying. You also come to help a guy called OG Luck, who sees himself as a rapper, taking care of a gang member who stole his rhymes, and help him more along the way. You also complete the famous mission that ends up in this if you do not succeed.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Then the crash team sends you to burn the house of a Vagos member, and this is also the mission that gives you the first date in the game, in the person of Denise.
Hey man, I owe you my life. I was nearly dead there for sure.
After killing a Ballas leader with the name of Kane, Sweet decides to try to reunite the Grove Street families at a motel, but which turns out to be an ambush, and you must fight off the SWAT to escape. And by the way, this is one of the more intensive missions in the game.
You want to get related? Huh? Give me that money.
One is going down.
Shit! Move out, folks. Slow down.
Oh, shit, the brakes is out. Shit, that's gonna be a hell of a story to tell when we pass the blunt.
After this mission, Sweet wants to get justice against the Ballas, but you get a phone call from Caesar which tells you to meet him.
DJ Caesar, man.
I'm kind of busy now.
You then find out that both Ryder and Smoke betrayed you and Sweet by doing business with both the corrupt cops and the Ballas,
Shit, Smoke? Crash making you sell us out? Moms!
Sorry, Issy. I heard a rumor poked around. I didn't believe it myself, but...
Nah, you did the right thing.
and that Sweet was also getting ambushed.
I gotta go tell Sweet about... Oh, fuck! Sweet! Look, go get Kendall and take her to a safe place.
You rush to help him, he gets to the hospital as he got injured. You get arrested and taken to the countryside by the Crash members.
You got a bag over your head, boy. How you feel about that?
Man, take it off! Please, man! I can't breathe! Please!
Oh, all right. Only because you said please.
And you're threatened not to go after Big Smoke, as Sweet will suffer if you do so.
Now you stay the fuck away from Smoke and stay the fuck away from us. Otherwise, Sweet's gonna find himself on a baller's block, getting in touch with his feminine side.
After doing some tasks for the Crash group, you meet up with Catalina, a younger version of this crazy Omen from GTA 3, that with CJ's will or not, becomes his girlfriend and do some crimes with her.
Another crappy job because of some crazy bitch. Come on, Derek, we're gonna stop those bastards.
Do I have to?
Drive! I know a guy who'll pay for this rig and its cargo.
You also meet Kendall and Caesar after they've managed to escape from Los Santos, who among other things introduces you to Woozy Moo, a blind Chinese mobster, and do some races, including the one where you beat Claude from GTA 3 for a garage in San Fierro, who by the way is still as mute as ever, and see Catalina whine about it, afterwards leaving with Claude to Liberty City.
There you go. Goodbye, Mr. Johnson. I will not be missing you.
Hey, wait a minute, bitch! What is this shit?
They did to a garage in San Fierro. My lover needs his car so we can go to Liberty City.
Another guy Crash has you meet is the Truth, a hippie, which you help later at burning his weed farm after being double-crossed by the corrupt cops, and then proceed to move to San Fierro at the garage that you have earned in the race previously described, which turns out to be pretty much a disaster.
There she is, brother. San Fierro, city of psychedelic.
You do some missions for Woozy Moo next, including a stealth one in which you must swim to a boat, needing to have a lung capacity attribute at a minimum of 5% and plant a bug on the ship for him. You also do some optional tasks if you want for Zero, one of them being this annoying sort of abort RC game. It is the equivalent of the RC helicopter missions from GTA Vice City, but even more annoying in my opinion. In the end, your main goal is to infiltrate the drugs business called the Loco Syndicate from San Fierro and destroy it from inside out, thus delivering a blow to Big Smoke. You do this by doing tasks for some of the syndicate bosses, like GZB, after which you kill him. Another syndicate guy you kill is T-Bone Mendes, which was also doing business with your true friend, Ryder, but you find out about a deal they were having and kill both of them.
He's in it for those boats. Don't worry about it, I got this.
A third leader goes by the name of Mike Torino, which you end up by destroying the helicopter he was in. Or so you think so. Besides also doing tasks for the crash, one of the last missions you do in San Fierro is to destroy the Loco Syndicate drug factory, thus delivering on the main goal of CJ from this area. After which you get a mysterious phone call where CJ gets threatened with his brother's death if not going to a specific place. Thus, you go to the desert just to find out that the one who called you was Mike Torino, who didn't die as he only staged his death, and he also tells you he is a double agent. You complete some tasks for him, including blowing up a plane with agents from a rival agency group. And not to forget about the infamous flight school, which you are forced to complete. One other interesting mission involves stealing the almighty jetpack from a military base that makes the parody of the famous Area 51, called in GTA San Andreas Area 69. You infiltrate it and after killing a bunch of guys, you fly away with it. Then Woozy calls CJ in order to help him with his newly opened business, a casino called the Four Dragons, which is your ticket to Las Venturas, and of course the other big casino rival called the Caligula seeks to sabotage Woozy's new business.
So who's behind this? Huh? Well, there are these three mob families operating here, and each of them has a stake in Caligula's casino.
Meanwhile, you also save Macer and Kent Paul, the so-called criminal mastermind from GTA Vice City, and you also meet an older Ken Rosenberg, also from Vice City. Among other things, you also get to save Mad Dog, who tries to commit suicide as his music career went downhill, ironically due to CJ getting that rhyme book earlier in the game for OG luck. And you also meet Salvatore Leone, as well as his future wife, Maria Latorre, both from GTA 3, who owns a considerable amount of the Caligula's casino business, and you get under his skin and do some missions for him, including getting in a plane in mid-flight and killing some henchmen sent to end Salvatore. And even travel to Liberty City afterwards, in order to kill Marco Forelli, the one who became the Don of the family after Tommy Vercetti killed Sonny in GTA Vice City.
Private function, invitation only. Oh yeah? Mr. Leone says otherwise.
After gaining Leone's trust, you and your accomplice do a heist at the Caligula's casino and also help your already mentioned accomplices escape Las Venturas, in a way faking their deaths.
Los Venturas fast. I'll be in touch.
What about your backup, man? Will you be alright without us?
Of course he will, you fucking moron! Come on!
Okay then, we about to have some company.
Then you once again get involved with the Crash members, just to find out that Jimmy Hernandez, one of the corrupt cops, sold Temponi and Pulaski out. Thus Temponi orders Pulaski to kill Hernandez, which he does, and also tells CJ to dig his own grave. Pulaski then tries to escape, but you chase after him and end him.
He's just using you. He's using all of us. You're the next one he's gonna silence, man.
Shut the fuck up, scum! And it's Officer Pulaski to you! Fucking die!
Not feeling so fucking full of yourself now, huh?
Yeah, well, them's the brakes, fuck.
Then you return to Los Santos, but now as Mad Dog's manager, and the first thing you do is to take back the rapper's crib, which is quite an extensive mission, and after you land on the roof of the crib and fight a bunch of guys, you end up killing Big Papa and regain the so-called mansion. Mike Torino then asks you to do a very small task, namely to steal a freaking Hydra, a jet plane from a carrier, a military one.
What can I do?
You just gotta steal a military jet off an amphibious assault ship and use it to destroy a flotilla of spy ships. Nothing big.
Oh man, you shit.
But I shit you.
Done by infiltrating it, killing a bunch of military guys and then stealing it. Afterwards, you also destroy some planes chasing after you and deliver the Hydra. Then Torino keeps his promise by releasing Sweet safe and healthy from their prison.
So what was that little job you was talking about, Torino?
I just want you to go pick up your brother. Get out of here.
What's up, bruh?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, bro?
I'm alright, man. Hey, man, we off to our new spot. Let me get you some new clothes. Come on.
Clothes? Nigga, what the fuck is this bullshit?
What you mean, man? What's mine is yours, and you know that.
You never did get it, did you, Carl? I need to go check on things in the hood. Man, that's the problem. You always a perpetrator, running from what's real.
Hey, man, shit's fucked up there. You don't want to be in the hood.
No, that's exactly where I want to be. What you done for our hood?
Man, what the hood done for me?
Among the last things you do in GTA San Andreas is to help Mad Dog get his revenge on OG Locke and regain the lost territories to the rival gangs. Tempany is then arrested but released immediately due to his connections. Sounds familiar, like nowadays, doesn't it?
Threatened to turn state's evidence, and who was then found shot dead in a supposedly unrelated gang incident.
I say 20 years.
Try 5 years. Cops always get off easy.
Yeah, I heard that.
Lost evidence, retracted witness statements, and now the disappearance of fellow officer Jimmy Hernandez and Officer Pulaski himself, believed to be over. They're exiting the courtroom now.
That bastard Pulaski will probably turn up dead just like the rest of them.
The lack of evidence against my client, the district attorney's office has seen fit to drop all charges against this innocent man.
That's bullshit.
Look, the whole city is going up. People are fucking pissed off about this.
People don't know what they want. We all being you.
In the end, you track down Big Smoke.
Down for this. But I gotta go in there alone.
What?
Smoke played me. Tenpenny played me.
They played us all.
Yeah, but you're right. I was a buster when my family needed me the most. Hey, I let Brian die, man. This one for him. For Mom. And for you, bro.
And use the SWAT tank to get through a wall. Kill some enemies across multiple floors. And eventually get to Big Smoke.
Hey, CJ, I was wondering when you show up.
You kill him, but not before he confesses that all he did was for money, and the best conclusion comes from CJ, who says that Smoke's death was a complete waste.
Everyone gonna remember my name. Big Smoke. Oh.
Tempany then makes his grand return and attacks CJ, but without the result he wanted.
Oh, I almost forgot, Carl. Sweet. What? It ain't over, Carl. It ain't over.
And our protagonist then chases after him, who drives recklessly in a firefight truck. You rescue Sweet, who almost gets killed by falling off the ladder from the firefight truck. And later, Tempany crashes the truck through a bridge near Grove Street. Which marks his end.
Asshole. You never understood what I did. 50 of me, and this town would be okay. I took the trash out. I did. And I do it all again. Don't do it, man. He's gone.
I just want to be sure it's over, man. That's all.
It's cool. Don't need to put a bullet and kill this up in a traffic accident. No one to blame.
A celebration takes place afterwards, with hope for the future, which also represents the end of the GTA San Andreas story.
I come in peace with Mr. Dog here as an announcement.
Our first gold record! Baby! Yeah, you know I'm talking about. Yeah, they heard about
I decided to get breast implants.
Loco, is it?
Choco.
Anyway, What's next?
We should hit the casinos, roll some dice with Woozy.
Nah, we gotta take care of shit here first.
We going on tour, fam.
Anyone got a tissue? My nose and won't stop running. Is that anybody?
Yeah, I have. Over there.
I'll pass.
Carl, where are you off to now?
Finna hit the block. See what's happening.
Now at the end, I will mention that unlike with GTA 3 and Vice City, GTA San Andreas does not present us an expansion pack, as there does not exist a GTA San Andreas stories, and this could come from multiple reasons, such as the fact that these DLCs were being released on the PSP, which might not have been able to handle such a complex game, or maybe due to the fact that GTA San Andreas is a much larger game than the previous ones in the franchise, and thus the developers maybe did not feel the need to add anything new to its story, but in the end only Rockstar Games could answer this question. San Andreas does not include a full-scale multiplayer mode, but there is a co-op mode found only in the PS2 and Xbox versions that allows for 2 people to play together and even has some specific rampages modes. However, people have created important and very known modded multiplayer mods, SAMP being one of the most played ones, even nowadays. The Easter eggs are even more interesting than in Vice City or GTA 3, remembering the once again returning moon that changes its size when shot with a sniper rifle, the secret message and the information billboard from the Gantt Bridge, the action figures portraying characters from GTA Vice City and Manhunt, the True Crime game parody reference, the Resident Evil Laboratory parody reference, or the Max Payne reference, as it can be seen, along many others, including conspiracy theories such as the random photographers that without any explanation work in the water to their death, or the so-called presence of Bigfoot or the monster of Loch Ness, or the UFOs, but which were confirmed not to be true. Or maybe, nah, just kidding. Or... And as with every game, and considering the scale of GTA San Andreas, some elements from its beta phases were either removed, modified, or should have been part of the game, such as the skateboard that wasn't in the final game, just to be found later in another RockstarGames masterpiece, namely Bully, or various vehicles such as the flower pot looking remote controlled camera. If in GTA 3 and GTA Vice City the cheats had an important role for most of the players, in GTA San Andreas this has become some sort of a norm, as pretty much everyone learned by heart at least a few of them, including myself, as the Rocketman cheat and many others were always used by me. And of course you can use them to make chaos or to make it easier for yourself in the game, and in the end to have a good fun time. And out of all the GTA games, San Andreas is probably the one that has seen the most mods being created for it, ranging from different textures, animations, adding even ray tracing to it, and everything the human mind can think of, including some sort of bigger mods that were supposed to either remaster or unite more of the GTA titles as one, and which were taken down by the famous lawyers coming from Take-Two Interactive, since these abominations called the Definitive Edition games had to come out and prove us once and for all that the mods were much better than what came out from Rockstar Games. Not blaming here the Grove Street company, which had very few developers, but Rockstar Games itself for not making this a priority, and because they did not themselves develop these remasters. I will end up this section of the review by showing my opinion on the so-called definitive edition of these beloved games, specifically GTA 3, GTA Vice City and GTA San Andreas, and more precisely about the legacy of Rockstar Games, since these are the games that made them who they are and where they are today, and at the same time the respect they have shown to its player base. The defective edition of these games were nothing else other than a cash grab based on nostalgia and on the trust of the GTA players, which is a shame. So here it is, my honest take on these abominations, no matter in which state they are today, as I do not care and neither should you. Okay, Rockstar, come back to your senses and remember who made you what you are today and where you are today. And this was a very serious and honest rant about the given topic. In conclusion, the graphics of GTA San Andreas, while not too different from the previous games in the series due to its use of the same renderware engine, still sees improvements in animations, cutscenes, visual effects and pretty much on every aspect regarding this topic. The audio design is better, the voice actors do a great job on delivering to us the vibe of the 90s, the radio stations include great songs and the effects are more varied and of higher quality. The gameplay has seen the most evolution out of all the characteristics, being enhanced with a lot of new fun mechanics and remaining the heart of the game. The story is one of the best among the GTA series, much better told in my opinion than in GTA 3 and GTA Vice City. And the missions are way more varied, including the tons of side activities present in the game, even though some of them are better while others not that much. For the final score, and despite some minor inconveniences found throughout the game, I will rate GTA San Andreas at a 10 out of 10, giving it the Golden Age Award, the Must Play Award, and without a doubt the Legendary Award, as the given score is a well-deserved one for the complexity, the graphical and audio design, the story and especially for the addicting fun gameplay that makes us remember the good old times. And this score is not just a subjective one, as this game would have deserved the same 10 out of 10 even in 2004, when it was released. As this review series comes to a closure, there is nothing more to say about GTA San Andreas other than it is and will always remain one of the best video games ever created, and its legacy will outlive us by a long time due to all of the facts described in this video and many others which I did not include but can be found in other reviewers' content. At the end of the review, and as usual, I would like you to write in the comments below your favorite memories involving this game, GTA San Andreas. And if you did not yet, watch the previous parts from this series to find interesting information regarding GTA 3 and GTA Vice City. And if you enjoyed this type of content, please subscribe, like this video, share it, turn on the notification bell and watch other videos from this channel. This was Dave from Golden Age Gaming Productions, and you just watched the Golden Age Gaming review of GTA San Andreas and the end of the original GTA 3D era series reviews. And remember, time is ticking away, but memories are here to stay. See you next time.